too.
Get a back shot.
Ah, I'm done. And she twerking while she walking, y'all.
So y'all, I wanted to talk about what the woman that was recording that video said, for a couple of reasons. Now, we as women, we hear comments like this all the time from other women, right? And they'll be like, oh, if you say something about it, like, well, I really didn't like that you said that because I wasn't twerking. And I'm saying that for a reason. Not that, you should be overly concerned about what people think about you. However, when you are building a brand, a business, or whatever, you have the choice of how you want to be presented. You understand what I'm trying to say? So everyone has a different way that they want to present themselves based on whatever their field is, their wheelhouse, whoever they want to impress, if they're wearing a mask or if they're truly and authentically being themselves and they just don't give a damn. Well, I'm a complex blend of all of those things. However, I was raised by socialites. So my parents in my lifetime, in my timeline, God rest my daddy's soul, his birthday is tomorrow. Whose birthday is it? Shout out to John Ernest, who is always with me. I can feel him every single day, y'all. Anyway, so where was I? Y'all know my ADHD brain. Bear with me. This is not going to be one of those 7-second videos that continue to shrink your brain down to the size of a peanut, because sometimes you just have to listen and hear somebody out and hear an offering of perspective. And it's not going to always be the way you, my controlling friend, I love you, we all have those issues, is always going to be. However, if you decide to become a part of the matrix, and because things are not the way they have programmed them to be in your mind, you're going to click off. It's too long, but we'll sit in a movie. Anyways, I'm trying to bring my brain back to where I was talking. Oh, the voice in the video. Now, I'm not going to name names because usually these personality types will say things like, well, I was just playing. Well, you took it the wrong way. And why are you so sensitive? In my wheelhouse, those are negative, low vibrational projections from where that person is in their life. Okay? I did not twerk in that video. Twerking is looked at in a very negative light, despite the fact that it actually came from Africa, and despite the fact that moving your hips in a fast, rotating, sometimes jiggly manner actually helps to relieve negative energy from your pelvic area, which, by the way, women carry stress in that area. Read a book. I digress. However, a narrative can be painted for you about you from someone else's projection. For example, if I was around a group of people, those people would now have first looked at my ass, which I already know people don't look at my ass because it's nice. But I don't need anyone to draw or bring any extra attention to the ass because the ass is acid. Okay, see, when you click off, because it's not 7 to 10 seconds, you miss the fun stuff. Anywho, and also the dress is form-fitting and it's comfortable. I do not wear it for attention. I wear it to make sales. It is a dress in my store. Outside of the fact that I fucking love the dress, I love the colors, I love the way it feels. There's nothing going up my crack anywhere. No cracks. None of them. The front crack or the back crack. And I don't like things at this age of 55 that go up my crack. It's uncomfortable for me and it turns into a serious situation. Moving on. First of all, that was my video that I asked The Voice to take for me because I was putting out promotional flyers for my Swookie Cookie Company, which, by the way, is terrifying for me. So I have been forcing myself everywhere I go to get out of my vehicle and do it. So it's terrifying for me. But when I have somebody with me, I feel way more comfortable and way more confident. However, the more that I do it by myself, I don't need anyone. However, if someone is with me, I do feel safe because people be tripping. Sometimes, y'all, side note, people really do get mad that I be putting them flyers on their car. So I be trying to hurry up because they be coming and talking about, what you doing in my car? I'll be like, that's it. Hi, I'm a baker. I be nervous, y'all. I told y'all I'm an introvert. Despite what you see and what you think and what your projection is about me, I am uncomfortable socially. It takes me a minute. Like I have to do the whole Superwoman stance before I leave the house. And then when I get out the car, I got to do 1, 2, 3, go. Y'all have no idea. So y'all never know what a person is dealing with and who they are. Most of you that are vibrating at very conditioned, no hate, no shade, just observation, a professional observation. These are not just, I'm just pulling this stuff out my behind. Y'all, I have spent many years studying all of this, even before I obtained my certification. And if you've been my day ones and you've been following me since it's pie time, then y'all know I've been talking about this shit for a long time. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. It is my mission to help everybody who has the heart and the ears to listen how to create better intimacy in their relationships, okay? When it comes to your family, your boss, your sister friends, your sisters, and even your dog. I don't do cats because cats are not trainable. They do what they want to do. And I'm fine with cats because they be protecting us from spirits, okay? Anyway, that's got too woo-woo for some of y'all. Read a book, you guys. Watch documentaries. If you don't like to read, just watch a documentary. That you can learn like that. But some of y'all won't even click up on it because you are even in the mindset of that if you watch it through your ear gate, it's Lord have mercy. Anyway, moving on. So back to the woman, okay? Or the voice, rather. There were other very microaggressive experiences that I had with her beyond that point. I only asked her, and by the way, why are you talking through my video? You know what I'm saying? Why are you speaking? This is my personal video for my personal brand that I asked for you to take for me. Why are you talking? And then you're going to say something that I'm not doing because why? Were you looking at my booty and got a little intimidated? Were you wondering how come yours didn't jiggle like that when I'm simply walking? And I am a model, so every now and then it'll click in my mind, practice your walk. And I'll get a little sassy, especially if I'm feeling comfortable and confident, which, if you can't tell by the video, I was. There are more clips of the video, which was strange to me because I only asked for that one snippet to be a back shot. Amazingly enough, every single snippet after that was snippets of my ass. I didn't ask for that. I did ask, would you mind holding the camera while I create a little bit of content? You don't have to make them very long. I just want to be shown, this is what I said, I just want to be shown putting them on the cars and tell people that, hey, sometimes it may be old school, but it works. You know what I'm saying? And even if you don't make any money, people will remember your name. It's called brand awareness. I don't know, marketing 101. It's old school, but I don't know. There have been many times in my life where I have picked a flyer up off of my windshield. I didn't feel no type of way about it because why? I read it. I have been to events because of flyers. I have purchased products. So if it worked with me, I don't know, billboards, you drive past it. Y'all think that stuff don't work. People pay thousands of dollars for billboards and you see them for a millisecond of time and you don't even remember the sign, but you remember 1-800-SAVE-AUTO, don't you? Anyway, moving on. I'm not going to go into what happened inside of the restaurant that I actually was waiting to be seated at, which was me utilizing time wisely by passing out my flyers because I am always, always, always focused on my money. Okay? As you should. As an entrepreneur, you should. If you're not, maybe you're not an entrepreneur. I don't know. I don't know what you do. Maybe you got a team and you ain't got to do all that, but your team gonna be doing it. Somebody gonna be doing it, or else Anyway, I said all that to say, make sure that you are careful when you are vetting the people that you allow into your circle. Now, that was a first time meeting, and there was very great things that happened. However, when I mentioned what was going on and how some of the things made me feel, I was met with judgment. I was met with a half-ass almost diagnosis. Mind you, when you meet somebody, you don't know what they know, who they know, what they've learned, how accomplished they are. You don't know nothing. But for you to automatically start to treat them as if they know nothing, they ain't been nowhere, when in actuality they know different things than you. I'm not going to say more, because there's no cap on learning and education. But there is an application on how you apply such knowledge. If it is not evident in your present everyday life, the things that you teach about, the things that you talk about, the things that you preach about, if you happen to completely be unrelatable in all shapes, forms, sizes, and fashion of the communities in which you desire to serve, what are we doing? So as I go out and collaborate, I am myself. I don't know how to be nothing else, and nor do I want to be anything else, because it took her a long time for her to get here and for her to accept her. And her is still on a journey, and I love it. I am not becoming the woman that I am or was designed to be. I'm just remembering. Because it's like, when I do stuff, I'm like, oh my God, I used to do this. Why did I stop doing this? This is so much fun. I said all that to say, you guys, when you see women who aren't doing nothing but being themselves, try your very, very best not to judge them, because the interactions that they are having with different types of energies, wherever those energies are at in life, mentally, physically, spiritually, we don't know. People give us a mask. All of us do. Some of us lower the mask based on our comfortability of the being we are interacting with. Some of y'all ain't gonna never see a comfortable side of me. Some of y'all gonna get to experience a side of me that is goofy as hell, and you're gonna be like, girl, your ass is crazy. Some of y'all ain't gonna get nothing. It is, you know what I'm saying? As everybody does. Like, listen, y'all, this is not complicated. Communication is open your mouth and speak. What comes out, comes out. Either the person you're speaking to is able to receive what you have to say the way you have to say it, or if they're not quite able to receive it the way you say it, they are mature enough to speak to you about it and say, hold on, you know what I'm saying? This is how I roll. And if you would like to continue in said, experience with me, let's adjust. If you want that said relationship, mentorship, whatever ship it is, if you desire it, you will adjust. Because I see you do it all the time. I hear y'all cussing each other out in the parking lot right before you go to church. And you're not cussing in church. So don't tell me you can't adjust. Men, you guys say you aren't great communicators. I call BS, okay? Belief system. I hear you talking to your boys when the Cowboys is playing. I hear you talking when Dwight Howard, whatever was happening with him. So you do have the capacity to communicate. Stop this, okay? So, at the end of the day, as I wrap it up about the moment of uncomfortability in that video, because that did make me a bit uncomfortable. Not because I'm insecure, but because I had allowed myself previously to be extremely vulnerable with the voice in the video. So I was starting to feel like there was a little bit of shade and hate going on, especially because of what I experienced inside of the diner, which I may or may not tell you guys about later. Again, no names. These are just experiences, and these need to be shared without people getting all upset, because they do happen and they are repairable. However, the person has to be able to receive your perspective on their experience with them, and vice versa. However, there is a way to do it. Some people are in the frequency of blaming. Some people are in the frequency of resolve. There is a difference, and you will notice it. It'll go a little something like this. When you were recording my video, I really honestly, I just told you I just wanted that particular back shot because, my audience knows I'm a little sassy and they also know that I'm shapely. And every now and then I give a little jiggle because, hey, I'm comfortable in my skin and sexy sells everything. So I'm not sure why you talked. I actually had to go into that video and take all of the audio out because you were speaking and there was no need for you to speak. It wasn't your brand. And then not only did you talk during my video, you said that I was doing something that I was not. You said that I was twerking. And for me, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be associated with twerking. I'll twerk in my house in private and maybe even on vacation with the person that I'm with. However, that's kind of negative to say that I was kind of twerking because if anybody had overheard you, they would have expected me to twerk. Maybe the next time they saw me, or they would have treated me with a little less respect because they might have thought I was a twerker. I'm just saying, subliminally, it happens. Because the minute that we hear such and such is crazy, or whatever words we use to describe people when we are deflecting, insecure, whatever, a person is acting in a way that may not be quote unquote acceptable in our sight, but they're just being themselves. And who are we to judge, right? Be careful, because there are energies out there that are really going to be disrupted by your vibe, and you're doing nothing but being yourself. Be careful. Now, in her defense, or the voice defense, well, it's a woman, you can hear the voice. She could have just been playing. She could have just been playing, and that's fine for her. See, until you get to know a person, what they've been through, maybe spend some intimate time with them, and they allow you into that space where they say, hey, people, even though I know and I'm comfortable, there are certain things that people can say or whatever that may be a slight little trigger for me. They're gonna come up depending on what you're going through in life. I mean, I'm still going through my father passing. As a matter of fact, his birthday is tomorrow. So there are little things that come up. Now, it didn't bother me, but in that moment, it was just a little prick. Like, why would you say I was twerking and I'm not? You know what I mean? Just because of the negative energy behind that word. It don't bother me, necessarily. However, but I did notice a little poke of something. And the first thing I did ask myself was, well, why did that bother me? And I answered myself. You know what I'm saying? I answered myself. I checked myself. I did all the things. I took 2 deep breaths. Excuse me. And I let the thought go. Not blaming me, myself, nobody. It was just a thought. However, what transpired after that and what continued to happen after that was what solidified what I felt in my gut, which is my first brain, which is your first brain, which is where your intuition, your guide, your knowledge, your wisdom, all of the things that necessarily you don't consciously think about all the time that your brain is and protecting you from. Some people call it triggers. Some people call it reminders. Some people call it, just a little twinge of that one thing that I didn't like. It's okay for you to not to like that thing. And it's okay for you to not want to be around people who make you experience even little pings of those things that you don't like. If you can communicate with them and say, hey, that made me uncomfortable, and they receive it, great. Hopefully it won't happen again. But if they become defensive and they start to tell you that you're too sensitive, I didn't mean it like that, it doesn't matter what you meant. What matters is how it lands on someone else. If you care, or you have empathy, or you can exercise compassion, or you can get out of your own ego, or if you can stop thinking about yourself for just a moment, because no one asked you what your intentions were. I was just telling you that it made me uncomfortable. I don't care what you meant. I cared how it felt. So I'm going to end this video here, you guys, and just think about it. Sit with it, because there are people like me who can just blow it off and move on and probably never ever interact with that voice again. I don't know. I'm working through that. I tend to give people too many chances when my gut, my ancestors, the creator, spirit, and everything else is telling me, run, Forrest, run! Be careful out there, y'all. All I'm trying to do, pass out my flyers, sell my dress, and sell my earrings. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I don't bother nobody. Or was I? Was I bothering somebody? Are you bothered or unbothered? Where you at? You bothered? I think you might have been bothered. I don't know. I'm just asking.